Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will take a look at the 40 most popular intermediate SQL questions and their answers so that you will know what to expect from your interviewer. These questions are more suited to SQL practitioners with a few years of experience. First question is, what is function in SQL and why do we use functions? A database object representing a set of SQL statements frequently used for a certain task. A function takes in some input parameters and then performs calculations or other manipulations on them, and then it returns the result. Functions help improve the code readability and avoid repetition of the same code snippets. Next question is, what type of SQL functions do you know? SQL functions. First one is aggregate functions. This works on multiple usually grouped records for the provided columns of a table and return a single value, usually by group. And then comes scalar function. It works on each individual value and returns a single value. On the other hand, SQL functions can be built-in, defined by the system, or user-defined, created by the user for their specific needs. Next question is, what aggregate functions do you know? So first is average. It returns the average value of the that column, and then comes the sum. It returns the sum of the values, and then minimum, that returns the minimum value, and maximum, that returns the maximum value, and then count. It returns the number of rows including those with null values, and then comes the first. It returns the first value of a column. Last, it returns the last value of a column. And then, what scalar functions do you know? Len. In other SQL flavors, length returns the length of a string, including the blank spaces. And then comes the uppercase. In other SQL flavors, upper returns a string converted to the uppercase. And then comes the lower L case. In other SQL flavors, we can use lower and then brackets. It returns the string converted to the lowercase. And then comes init, returns init cap returns a string converted to the title case. That is, each word of the string starts from a capital letter. And then comes the mid. In other SQL flavors, substring extracts a substring from a string. Then round, it returns the numerical value rounded to a specific number of decimals. And then comes the now. It returns the current time, date and time. Fifth question is, what are case manipulation functions? Give some examples. Case manipulation functions represent a subset of character functions, and they are used to change the case of text data. With these functions, we can convert the data into upper, lower, or title case. We have in previous question we have covered the uppercase, lowercase, and then init cap. Next question is, what are character manipulation functions? Give some examples. Character manipulation functions represent a subset of character functions, and they are used to modify the text data. For example, concat, it joins two or more string values appending the second string to the end of the first one. And then comes the substring. It returns a part of a string satisfying the provided start and end points. Then comes the length. In other SQL flavors, it can be represented as len. It returns the length of a string including the blank spaces. And then comes the replace. This function replaces all occurrences of a defined substring in a provided string with another substring. Then comes instr. It returns the numeric position of a defined substring in a provided string. Then comes the lpad and rpad. Returns the padding of the left side and then right side or character for right justified or left justified value. Then comes the trim. It removes all the defined characters as well as the white spaces from the left, right, or both ends of a provided string. Next question, what is different between local and global variables? Local variables can be accessed only inside the function in which they were defined, and instead global variables being declared outside any function are stored in fixed memory structures, and then they can be used throughout the entire program. Next question is, what is the default data ordering with order by statement and how do you change it? By default, order is ascending. To change it to descending, we need to use the DESC keyword as follows. Select star from table name and then order by column and then descending. Next question is, what set operators do you know? First set operators is union. It returns the records obtained by at least one of two queries excluding duplicates. Then comes the union all, returns the records obtained by at least one of two queries including duplicates. And then comes the intersector, returns the records obtained by both queries. And then you comes except. It is also called minus in MySQL and Oracle. It returns only records obtained by the first query but not the second one. Next question is, what operator is used in the query for pattern matching? The like operator in combination with the percentage and underscore wildcards. The percentage wildcard represents any number of characters including 0, while underscore strictly one character. Next question is, what is the difference between a primary key and a unique key? While both types of keys ensure unique values in a column of a table, the first one identifies uniquely each record of the table and the second one prevents duplicates in that column. Next question is, what is a composite primary key? The primary key of a table based on multiple columns. Next question is, what is the order of appearance of common statements in the select query? Order of the appearance of common statement in select query is, first comes select and then from the name of the table and then join if we have it, we are performing any join, and then comes the on and then comes the condition where and then group by and then having and then order by and then comes the limit, like how many records do you want to see in the results. In which order the interpreter executes the common statements in the select query. So the order of execution of common statements in select query is, first it checks from the table from where we are going to select, and then comes the join and then the join condition and then the overall condition where, and then comes the group by and then having and then select and then order by and then comes the limit. Next question is, what is a view and why do we use it? A virtual table containing a subset of data retrieved from one or more database tables or other views. Views take very little space, simplify complex queries, and limit access to the data for security reasons, enabling data independence and summarize data from multiple tables. Next question is, can we create a view based on another view? Yes, this is also known as nested views. However, we should avoid nesting multiple views since the code becomes difficult to read and debug. Can we still use a view if the original table is deleted? No. Any views based on that table will become invalid after deleting the base table. If we try to use such a view, we will receive an error message. Next question is, what type of SQL relationships do you know? The first one is one-to-one. Each record in one table corresponds to only one record in another table. And then comes the one-to-many. Each record in one table corresponds to several records in another table. Then many-to-many. Each record in both tables corresponds to several records in another table. Now comes the next question. What are possible values of a Boolean data field? In some SQL flavors such as PostGRE and the Boolean data type exists explicitly and takes values true, false or null. In other flavors such as Microsoft SQL Server, the bit type data type is used to store Boolean values as integers 1 that is true or 0 as false. Next question is, what is normalization in SQL? Normalization is a process of database design that includes organizing and restructuring data in a way to reduce the data redundancy, dependency, duplication, and inconsistency. This leads to enhanced data integrity, more tables within the databases, and more efficient data access and security control, and a greater query flexibility. Next question is, what is denormalization in SQL and why do we use it? Denormalization is the process opposite of normalization. It introduces data redundancy and combines the data from multiple tables. Denormalization optimizes the performance of the database infrastructure in situations when read operations are more important than write operations since it helps avoid complex joins and reduces the time of query running. What is the difference between renaming a column and giving an alias to it? Renaming a column means permanently changing its actual name in the original table, while giving an alias to a column means giving it a temporary name while executing an SQL query with the purpose to make the code more readable and compact. Next question is, what is the difference between nested and correlated subqueries? A correlated subquery is an inner query nested in a bigger outer query that refers to the values from the outer query for its execution, meaning that a correlated query subquery depends on its outer query. But on another hand, a non-correlated subquery does not rely on the data from the outer query and can be run independently to it. Next question is, what is the difference between clustered and non-clustered indexes? While a, while a clustered index defines the physical order of records of a table and performs data searching based on the key values, a non-clustered index gives the order of records that doesn't match the physical order of the actual data on the disk. A table can have only one clustered index but many non-clustered indexes. What is the case function? The way to implement if then else logic in SQL. This function sequentially checks the provided conditions in the when clauses and returns the value from the corresponding then clause. When the first condition is satisfied. If none of the conditions is satisfied, the function returns the value from the else clause in case it's provided, otherwise it returns the null value. The syntax is like case when condition 1 then value 1, when condition 2 then value 2, when condition 3 then value 3, else value, and then end. Next question is, what is the difference between delete and truncate statements? Delete Delete is a reversible data manipulation language command used to delete one or more rows from a table based on the conditions specified in the where clause. Instead, truncate is an irreversible DDL function used to delete all rows from a table. Delete works slower than truncate. Also, we can't use the truncate statement for table containing a foreign key. Next question is, what is the difference between drop and truncate statements? Drop deletes a table from the database completely, including the table structure and all the associated constraints, relationships with other tables, and access privileges. Truncate deletes all rows from a table without affecting the table structure and constraints. Drop works slower than truncate. Both are irreversible DDL functions. Next question is, what is the difference between having and where statements? The first one works on aggregated data after they are grouped, while the second one checks each row individually. If both statements are present in a query, they appear in the following in the order where, then group by, and then having. The SQL engine interprets them in the same order. Now, next question is, how do you add a record to the table? It can be done using insert function. Using the insert into statement in the combination with values, the syntax is insert into table name and then values and then value 1 comma value 2 and so on. Next question is, how to delete a record from a table? Using the delete statement, the syntax is delete from table name and then where the specific condition. In this way, we can also delete multiple records if they satisfy the provided condition. Now, how to add a record? How to add a column to a table? We can do this by altering the structure of the table. That is using the alter table statement in the combination with add. The syntax can be alter table name, then add column name, and then its data type. Next question is, how to rename a column of a table? Using the alter table statement in the combination with rename column, then column name, and then then the new column name. The syntax can be written as alter table name and then rename column, the old column name to, and then the new column name. Next question is, how to delete a column from a table? It can be done using the alter table statement in combination with drop column. Syntax is alter table, then table name, and then drop column, and then column name. Next question is how to select all even or odd records in a table. Then by checking the remainder of the division by 2. In some SQL versions, for example, PostgreSQL and MySQL, we use the mode function. In others, like MS SQL Server and SQLite, the modulo operator percent to select all even records using mod. We can do this using like select a star from table name where mod column id column and then 2 equal to 0. That means okay, we are checking that if column is divided by 2 and is equal to 0, or we can do this by writing select star from table name where id column remainder by 2 equal to 0. To select all odd records, the syntax is identical in both cases, only the that we would use the inequality operator instead of equal. Now comes the next question: how to prevent duplicate records when making a query using the distinct function in combination with selector or creating a unique key for that table. Next question is how to insert many rows using the insert into statements in a combination with values. Syntax is insert into table name, then values, and then value 1, value 2, value 3, and then comma, and then next row, and then next row. How to find the nth highest value in a column table using the offset clause. For example, to find the sixth highest value from a column, we would use the following syntax: select star from table name, order by, column name, DSC limit. Here it should be 1 instead of 10, and then offset 5. Now next question is how to find the values in a text column of a table that start with a certain letter using the like operator in combination with the percentage and underscore wildcards. For example, we need to find all surnames in a table that starts with A. The query can be written as select star from table name where surname like A underscore and then semicolon. Or it can be written as here we assume that a surname must contain at least 2 letters. Without this assumption, meaning that a surname can be just A, the query is as follows: select a star from table name where surname like a percentage. Now next question is how to find the last ID in a table using the max function. Otherwise, in many SQL versions, we can use the following syntax: select ID from table name order by ID DSC and then limit 1. MS SQL or in MS SQL, we can use select top 1 ID from table name order by ID DSC. Now select how to select random rows from a table using the rand function in column combination with order by and limit. In some SQL flavors such as PostgreSQL, it's called random. For example, the following code, this code will return 5 random rows from a table in MySQL. Select star from my table, order by rand, limit 5. Now, what are the key takeaways from this video? To sum up, we discussed 80 essential beginner and intermediate SQL interview questions and the right answers to them. Hopefully, this information will help you to get ready for the interview and feel more confident. Whether you are looking for a job in SQL or hiring candidates for an intermediate SQL position. If you are watching this video till now, then do not forget to subscribe the video and like it. And for more SQL questions and data science blog, please visit geekycourse.in. Link is given in description. Thank you.